I was pom-pom girl in high school. I know, hard to believe. I'm Susan Stiff. I'm the Area Director of Public Relations for Starwood Hotels and Resorts in the Westin Denver downtown, and I'm also the 2015 Chair for Saturday Night Alive. Well, I grew up in two places, Crown Point, Indiana, and Neodesha, Kansas. My dad was transferred with Standard Oil back and forth. When I was 5 years old, we were living outside of Chicago. My mother, my Aunt Dorothy, who was an opera singer, and my sister Nancy and I rode the South Shore into Chicago to McCormick Place to see the Nutcracker. And I distinctly remember the tree coming out of the stage. I also distinctly remember Aunt Dorothy had a fox boa with the head on it. I know that fox winked at me. I know he did. I came to Colorado because my dad promised if I worked 1 year, he'd pay my way through graduate school. That's how I ended up here, and then I fell in love with Colorado and stayed. Mike Rosen and Nancy Rebeck gave us tickets to see M. Butterfly, and we drove up to see it, and then we walked out of the theater, and it was 10 o'clock at night when it was over, and there were still lights on in downtown Denver, as opposed to Colorado Springs. When I moved to Denver, the advice from either Sharon Whitengelt or Jane Netzorg was join every single organization that you possibly can. That's where you meet people. And the organizations I joined were many, but Denver Center Alliance, got involved with Colorado Ballet then, and then also Central City Opera. And I would say that after almost 25 years in Denver, my dearest, dearest, dearest friends are involved with those organizations. For me, what it is was, first of all, an opportunity to meet a lot of people who have been good friends. But secondly, what it is an opportunity to touch lives. Starwood Westin does make a huge commitment to give back to the community. And what's great about the company is they don't come in and say, here's who you're going to give to. It's the culture of the hotel. I didn't start this with Denver Center. Marie Chris did, who was opening director of marketing when the hotel opened. And she partnered with Denver Center. And I think the first event, the opening of this hotel, was for the Denver Center for Performing Arts. When Lion King came the first time to Denver, as you all remember, it was, you couldn't get a ticket. And the Westin ended up with 8 tickets at the last minute. So my boss, I said, what do you want me to do with them? And he said, give them to the homeless shelter, Samaritan House. Couldn't believe that. So I called Father John Lager. So he gathered together 2 families, 2 moms and 5 children. And he called back the next day to thank me. And he said, one of the mothers cried when she walked in the Buell Theater because it was the most beautiful building she'd ever seen in her entire life. And then he said that one of the kids, the eldest child, skipped all the way back to the Samaritan House, 9 blocks away but a world away, singing, I'm going to be a Lion King, and announcing to anybody who had listened that he was going to be Simba on Broadway. So that night, I know, because of my employer, we touched 2 lives. I don't know how many other lives we touched that night, but I do know that we touched 2 lives.